Would you say, with regard to the distance of your thoughts, can you get further and further away from them and see them as less of a impingent over time? Or is it once you understand that, boom, there's a distance there?
So there's two processes in meditation, and the first is the gradual thing, like you explained there. You slowly, a distance is created more and more over time, and the disidentification from particular thoughts and thought patterns slowly starts to happen. And as a result, one experiences more peace, relaxation, and just a restfulness. However, there is a sudden moment that can happen. And this is sort of, I guess you could call it a moment of self-realization, or suddenly there's a light bulb moment where you understand what your true nature is, or not you understand it, but you actually experience it. But actually both is what happens. But to get the light bulb moment, you have to, well, you don't have to, but in order to kind of stay in the abiding realization of your true nature, there is a gradual process that usually happens. Or if you have a light bulb moment, it doesn't last, and then the gradual process continues. So, yeah, but obviously that's, quite. This is for people that really want to know their true self nature more than they just want to sort of, calm down their anxiety a bit or something. Yeah.
Yeah, right. And what are the typical kind of ways to get there? Right? I like what you're saying, because it resonates with me, right? Sometimes you just got to do the work.
Yeah.
You got to put the time in to whatever it is that you want to improve upon. What are the typical paths there? I understand that there's a Vipassana route, there's a Dzogchen route, there's a Zen route. There's apps. There's just sitting in silence and observing what's going on. In some ways, it can be a bit daunting for someone who hears about meditation. I mean, where do you want to start? And what are the differences? And I guess it's also probably important to understand where you want to get to, like you said, right? You may not, for some people, the idea of enlightenment is very attractive. However, for others, it might just be, I just want to be a bit more calm and make better decisions. So how do you kind of navigate all that?
Yeah, well, I think, like you say there, it starts from what you want. And usually this depends on, usually a lot of people that go onto the spiritual path that really want to go for self-realization, if you like, enlightenment, freedom. This is usually people that they tend to have had a lot of suffering in life, and they're wanting to end that in some way. Other people, like you say, is if they just want to reduce their stress and anxiety, or just have a little bit more Zen in their life, then it's interesting because they both kind of start at the same place in a way, I would say. Now, it depends on the person and how their body mind is as a machine. So some people, for instance, myself, very much, when I started, it was very much a bodily thing, because my particular body mind is someone whose mind, I'm upstairs a lot, and that's common. A lot of people have a similar sort of mind like that, but some people are very much bodily, and it's wherever the identification is usually where the practice will go. So say someone who's say more in their body would watch their mind, and someone who's more in their mind would probably be observant of their body. That's a very sort of basic way that I'm saying that, but there's so many different paths. Like you say, Zen I used to go to Zen. I used to live in a Zen center for a few years. But then, on a Thursday and a Sunday night, I would go and venture out, and I would go and sit with Sufis, in a Sufi center nearby. And Sufi meditation is completely different to Zen. Sufi is heartfulness. Zen is mindfulness. Zen is being conscious and mindfulness. Sufism is like kind of, don't even worry about being mindful. Just immerse yourself in your heart. And they call it God, but they mean the same thing as, the universe or, the eternal or whatever consciousness. It means the same thing. So it comes from a different angle. So where to start depends on how you are. And that's kind of where I would navigate someone when they come to sort of my meditation sessions and they're asking, how do I get started with this?